Right, in this video, I'm going to be doing a video response to a lot of the comments that I've received on my take on Year 7 Season 1. Also, small update, I'm currently on like a course, like an educational course, which is taking a lot out of me, as well as the fact that I'm still technically in recovery from my surgery. So why my videos have been very sporadic lately, it's quite simply, I either don't have time or cannot be bothered. So I'm doing them as and when. So, let's crack on. Alright, so my comments. I'm going to be putting them to newest first. So, thank you, this game is broken. You're welcome. We're making a video on the new skill smart cover before the update release. I did a little bit of testing around with it. However, due to the way in which Turmoil works, and they didn't fix it in the PTS, so I don't know if they actually even plan on fixing it. The smart cover, I believe one of them gives something like 45% damage to targets out of cover. With how Turmoil works, that is now 110.25% damage to targets out of cover. That should actually give you a hint as to why I am so against what they've added in the PTS. Like, everything is massively way too powerful. I did have a few people contact me, a few people in the know, I'll leave your imagination as to who or what they were, saying that there is meant to be content coming that justifies this level of power, but they didn't explain that beforehand, as well as they said that with the incursions. We didn't need that level of power. They said that with the master missions. We didn't need that level of power. They don't have a good track record with this, so I didn't cover anything to do with the smart cover, simply just because there is no way to actually show it working without going into large amount of depth with how broken a lot of what they're adding is. Mate, to stop playing, your points are stupid. But the point I made in this was how unbalanced the game is. Okay, apparently it's stupid to wanting a fair, even challenge and a balanced game. Yeah. Yeah, so apparently that's stupid. Like, that overall, yeah. Tinkerer, the OG Alpha Bridge, I do remember it, was once a gear set. If it was a gear set, I actually don't think I'd mind it too much, because you will be making concessions with certain roles and other things. Yeah, I just feel like they've massively overtuned that. Explain how determined is bug. It's already been nerfed and they re-implemented it. It's working as intended. They're saying it's working as intended. I'll have to do a video on the story of Determined and why there is a lot of people out there that will still say it is bugged, and as to why there are a lot of communities, particularly the speedrunning community, where if you use Determined, they classify it as an illegal run. So that will have to be like a separate video. I love you, Dod, but I'm all for those of us just over 1,000 who could do with extra. If you're just over 1,000 SHD, the amount of damage that you have the capability of doing and the amount of damage that I have the capability of doing at like 15,000 DPS is the exact same. Your watch is maxed out. The difference between watch at 0 and watch max out is like, I think it's like 20% odd. So there is no difference in DPS, just difference in build and experience. So I don't understand your point here, I'm sorry. Yeah, big thanks to all the content creators who have played the PTS and are now getting all their views from Broken Talents videos, which will no doubt be nerfed before we get a chance to have a go. If they're broken, why do you want to play with it? Everyone always moans about how underpowered we are compared to NPCs. No, we're not. Who's everyone moaning about that? Because they're idiots. We're massively overpowered. The only thing that I don't like on the NPC side of things is like in Legendary with the grenade and drone spam, because it's not actual difficulty, it's just artificial difficulty. It's more bullshit rather than a challenge playstyle. They give us power, it's broken, never pleased. There are easy ways to balance what it is they've given, and my complaint is, why didn't they balance it in the first place? Excellent, bro, thanks. They're trying to make some old. They are, but they're doing it in a really silly way. Rather than implement them in a way of that would fit the mechanic of Division 2. They are trying to find a way in which it overrides the mechanic of Division 2. Obviously, never played Division 1. You half the shit you said is just wrong. What, on how math works and how overpowered we're about to become. Yeah, are you okay? Who the fuck are you? I think the devs don't know how to downgrade the NPC damage numbers, so they try to make them stronger and inadvertently buff the NPCs for PvE for years, only PvP, and that's just... what? I don't get that. Let them do what they're doing, it's endgame anyway, who cares? You need... just play on normal then. Play on normal. This is the thing I don't get, right? You want to feel that power, you want to feel that level of immortality. Fine. Put your game on normal. Do that for a week. I guarantee you'll be bored of the game and you'll no longer play. The same thing happens when you power creep on the end game and everything becomes massively easy. The exact same thing happens. It's happened in a plethora of other games of where this sort of thing happens. The power creep sets in, the game becomes mind-numbing, dull, boring, no longer a challenge, and people just stop playing. So then we need more engaging, more difficult content to get the player base back in. Just balance the game from the start and ignore people like you. Why do they always make brain talents and just go no setup? Which, exactly, this is like another problem. You could balance it by bringing it down to I think it was 30%. Does anyone know if they're handling the level cap increase? I don't believe they are actually increasing any of the level. Not that I haven't said it 1,001 times, but this just proves that devs 100% do not play their own game, do not understand what's in the game. I mostly agree. This is the problem from what I understand of when it comes to developing a game. You will put something in the game thinking X will interact with Y, Y will interact with Z. That will be the end of it. And then weird people like me, IKEA, Hutchler, Ronan, Toasty, a plethora of other people go, we can actually make X and Y interact simultaneously and throw a little bit of ABC in there as well, just because we can and the game allows us to do it. The devs didn't think of it. The devs can't think of everything. There's a team of 200-300 devs making this game? Maybe. I don't know. And they have thousands of players. We are obviously collectively going to think of more things than what they can test. So it is a rolling system, but I don't think they are putting in as much effort as they could to mitigate the fallback of it. Care most about massive killing mules and nerfing Keena's what? So stupid and not relevant. It's one, it's for the point of longevity, because I imagine after Brooklyn we're probably not going to get much more in terms of content or performance from the game until Division 3 comes out. So I imagine they're going to want to try and hold on to what they do have for as long as possible. It's been confirmed that Determined is working as intended, and yet in the actual game files it's still marked as bugged. The actual interaction was confirmed bugged, and then they went, no, we actually just don't want to even touch it anymore, and now it's working as intended. The story of Determined is all there online. I might do a quick recap video on why Determined is like this, but just because they are saying it is working as intended doesn't actually mean they're working as intended. As it stands right now, Turmoil are working as intended, and I can literally break down as a mathematical formula how they absolutely 100% are one of the more bugged items in the game. Why is anyone still playing Turmoil? Oh, shut up. Yeah, this dude is a clown. The whole point of expansion is progression. Oh my god. Who the fuck are you? Just, you're an idiot. Stop talking. Other comments. It's odd that people are unhappy with negative feedback on even just proposed changes, that they're content creators who are gushing positively about them, and there are those who are negative about them. And to me, they're all valid content. Dod has been consistent with his themes about power creep and Determined being bugged. Thank you. And has been expressed himself on his channel. If you want sunshine milk and honey sentiments, they're out there too. Just don't go expecting them here. I do have them, but only when they come up. Will the power spike be fun? Sure, for about, I don't know, a week. Will the lack of challenge get players bored and move on to other games after a while? Sure. Oh, I should press read more. Will have their cake and eat it into nothing and balancing? Sure too. Will the devs will be... Mate, that is top quality. I like that. I like that. Legendary is basically normal. Not everyone is... You don't have a strikers build? That's literally all it takes. It's literally all it takes is a strikers build. If you don't have a strikers build, I don't know what to tell you. Optimize. You don't even need it to be that optimized. Like, I'm not particularly good at this game, my guy. I know the math. I know the math, and that's about it. In terms of overall playing, I'm not particularly good. And with what is currently in the game, I can solo DUA, Roosevelt, what's the other one? Capital, the 3 originals, pretty consistently. I don't do it fast. I'm not speedy, but I can solo them pretty easily and pretty consistently. I can solo Manning very easily. It's actually, for me, it's one of the easier ones to solo up to the boss. I've never been able to actually complete the boss, but I can solo up to the boss. Tidal, I've soloed it twice throughout my entire time playing. I don't think it's particularly difficult. I just find it long and boring, and then I get bored and make silly mistakes, and then I make silly mistakes, I get frustrated, I make more mistakes. But literally, all of them just require a strikers build. So I don't understand asking for years to be this strong. This game... No. Ginyu, come on. Come on. The community hasn't been asking to be this strong. The larger, more vocal part of the community has been asking for us to become weaker because the game is dull and no longer a challenge. Like, yeah, it's gotten to a point where a lot of the forerunners of the community that was here years ago are no longer playing because the game is no longer holding their interest. They've moved on to other things. Like, no. Players complain about NPCs being... You can kill most things in the game in under a second. In around a second. How is that spongy? It takes like a second to kill basically any and all enemies. The only ones that really stand out from that will be like named elites and then moving into like raid bosses, etc., which are perfectly fine. I feel where they are. It's actually like a mechanical challenge within longevity. So I don't see that. Most things are just either one shot or take like 4 bullets. Knowing that everything is too easy because it is. We're too powerful. We're too OP. Bloody blah blah. Remove the knee pads. What? Can't wait for them to completely remove the knee pads. They should. They're that bad in terms of game balance. Because if I see one more video, yeah. If the changes affect you in PvP. Can't wait for this. Is there a second PTS? Is there actually one? I'd be interested in that. It's probably up right now and I'm just missing it because I'm an idiot. You don't see an issue with the streamlined talent? It doesn't make you Superman? Dude, it's like massively stronger. Massively stronger. Have I got anything up at the moment? This was working with some killer streamline. 140. Why is... Oh, yeah, I know why that is. Right, so let's put that. So that's killer active. 165, 0.25. Everything's the same. 1.8. They are. This is streamline versus killer. So on body shot, it's 10.1%, 10.11% more. And on headshot, it's 16.3% more. Here's the thing, though. This is assuming that killer is active 100% of the time. We have 58% crit chance. So if we do 0.58 times 0.7, that gives us essentially 0.41. So if we actually now put this down to 0.41 as well. So now, if we actually calculate in the uptime of killer, Streamline is now near enough 20% stronger. And you can have 100% uptime on Streamline. You can. You physically can. You physically cannot have 100% uptime on killer. And killer is considered to be the stronger talent. Now, if we actually wanted to do, like, effectively the strongest talent in the game right now is Sadist. So if we actually Put that to 1.4. 0.65, 0.25, 0.58, 1035, 1035. Yeah, if we now put that to 0.3, they are. Streamline is now beating Sadist, and Sadist is mathematically in the game right now the strongest talent, and Streamline is beating it. Streamline is beating it. And again, you can't, unless you're using like an ongoing directive build, you can't have 100% uptime on this. This is assuming Sadist is active 100% of the time. Like, that is the issue. Like, do we not? It's massively more powerful. Hugely more powerful. To a point of where it's comical. To actually get this to be balanced with other talents in the game, Streamline would need to be like 1.3, I think. 1.3. Yeah, that would put it in line with Killer. Having it at like 1.3. So, rather than 80% weapon damage, it would be 30% weapon damage. That is the difference. And technically, that would still be considered very strong, considering on average, Optimus is like 1.1, is like 1.5. Like, that's Optimus. So, yeah, that is the problem. The arcade and anything from Div 1. Remind me. The FM gear. I don't remember the FM gear. I'm sorry, Tofu Drives. I don't get what you're referring to. I did play Div 1. I didn't really enjoy it, mostly because of the amount of hackers, and I basically stopped playing. Fire Yannick already. The guy is a business providing. Just because I don't think he should be fired. I think he should hire someone who probably has a little bit more understanding of the in-depth of the game mechanics. But yeah, I don't think he should be fired. I think he should definitely be put under the spotlight and from the community and be like, hey, why are you doing this? No more hidden answers, no more bullshit, no more political runarounds or anything. This has been bugged for years. Why isn't it fixed? That's what I think should happen. Like, we should definitely. Then we'll nerf it back, and then the hype for that. This is, trust me, massive dumps. Dev team and hack Yannick. What? Why are you so bald? It's called malpattern baldness. It kind of happens when you get older, and yeah. This dude don't know what he's talking about. He's a little PvP boy that don't know none else. And miserable bastards I've come across. If you can't even play the test server without your whole day being ruined, then maybe you should stop playing the game. I kind of feel sorry for you and anyone that, like your partner or partners or whatever, because I was very, very clearly having fun. I'm having fun right now. Yeah. Are you okay? Wait, you're bitching that they put an exotic master in the game gives more DPS and build diversity of your talents while you're upset? No, it doesn't. See, you're not understanding it. You're not understanding it. With what we have right now, you've got potentially 4 different separate makeups on what you can use with just strikers that are all within like 2 or 3% of each other that work perfectly fine for a variety of different content. The moment this mask, just Alpha Bridge, comes into the game, that diversity of 4 separate builds gets limited down to 1. And if the talents don't change, the talent composition for all of your builds is going to be a FAMAS with either Killer or Streamlined as your main weapon, and then the second weapon isn't going to matter, you just want either Streamlined or Killer on it. That is it. That is now it. So, yes, it does give more DPS, but in doing that, it is going to kill the diversity. It's going to remove 4 separate striker builds down to 1 just because of that mask. It is going to kill diversity. If it was like a 1 or 2% increase, there could still be an argument made for using other builds in other areas to do different things. But it's not. It's a 16 to 25% increase. That is going to kill your diversity. Your point makes no sense whatsoever. You clearly haven't thought about it. In the Division 1, Nimble was nerfed several times because of players like myself in the DZ doing you're doing in the video. Abused the talent. We'd constantly do cover to cover moves, regen through the incoming damage, mitigate, and attack opponents during reloading. Yep, I can see it happening now. It's actually something I didn't think of, but yeah, I can massively see something like that happening in PvP, because I think IKEA tested it out. The holster, Nimble holster, works to the same scaling in PvP. And in regards to what people might think, in terms of damage, you don't do anywhere near as much as a legendary ad. So if you can run around in a circle with like 4 or 5 legendary ads basically barely scratching you, the same thing's going to happen in PvP. Here we go again. Wannabe dev YouTubers destroying the game just like Div 1. I don't think you understand anything at all. Do you think the devs watch this and go, oh yeah, that was a good point? Sorry, I just read this. 0 constructive points here. The point wasn't to actually... This wasn't a constructive video. This was me giving my opinion on the things. If we followed your logic, there would be 0... It would just be more balanced. So, like... So, you didn't understand the point of the video or context, apparently. That is not at all, like, any point that was been made in any of my videos that I've ever done. Most new gear isn't even used by the time it's released, and it's junk. Exactly, right? So now you're just contradicting yourself for the point of the video. Everything that they've mostly released is unbalanced, and it's either overbalanced or underbalanced. And if it's overbalanced, it ends up getting nerfed, in which case you're going to cry. And if it's underbalanced, it doesn't serve a point in the game, dilutes the loot pool, and you're going to cry. And then I make a video going, oh yeah, by the way, that was fucking shit, and then you're angry at me. Could you project harder, please? That would be great. Come on. Leave in the comments say, hating on you something, yeah, because they see big new shiny thing and then they run with it. Yeah. Like, yeah, how is that not a problem? Being completely immortal and getting 5 red cores worth of damage from one item. How is that not a problem? Leadership, Intimidate, Firewall. Yeah, you could utilize things like that in conjunction with like the mask or the holster. That would actually be really silly. Like, yeah, actually a useful gun from Div 1. They brought the Bullet King 2.0. Holes no punches. Pretty straight. Oh, dispatch. Honestly, Tinker should swap talents with Ninja Bike, as in Ninja Bike on the mask and Tinker on the backpack. Is this powerful as a backpack, depending on the weapon talents? If it would be balancing the weapon talents better and buffing brand set bonuses. Oh, dispatch. That is actually a really good idea. That is... Someone needs to hire dispatch. What I don't understand is why they invited certain streamers to Sweden who don't even stream or play the game anymore. It's because of a name and money, I'm afraid. Yeah. If they like to play game, play something else as number 40 player. I do like the game. That's why I'm playing it. That's why I review it. That's why I do this. Did that not come across? Ever since the expertise came into this game has been garbage. Ever since expertise came in, I felt like the game has gone downhill. I wouldn't go as far as garbage though. Just a reminder, massive ships items hot in the PTS, so the YouTuber blah 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 blah. But yeah, it's a common tactic. Although I don't feel that Massive do it intentionally. I feel like they just make mistakes. One of the biggest ones that I can remember in recent memory. I actually had 2 devs. I was live streaming it. I had 2 devs in my chat at the time, and I was doing some testing on the talent behind you, and we found out it was a massive amp. I lost my shit, and the 2 devs were sat there looking at me being like, we fucked up, we didn't think about this. They knew they'd done it. They knew they had done it, and it was a massive, it was an amplifier of like 60% or something. Like, I was just like, this can't be a thing. This is huge. This is ridiculous. This needs to change immediately. And they went away and changed it. Like, that's just how things work. That mask reminds me of the confidential set from Alpha Bridge. I'm pretty sure it's what it's based on. Yeah. You could use exotic weapons. I feel like if they did, I mean, it's already going to be like ridiculously overpowered. Could you imagine using something like Streamlined and then Pestilence? Like, that would be huge. That would be actually kind of silly. So, well, before Legendary being only doable by cheesing, that has never been the case. Case. Sorry. The first Legendaries were getting done through utilising Chameleon. Yeah, so, yeah. Sorry to burst your bubble. That has never been the case. Would be garbage too. I don't think it's going to be garbage. I don't think it's going to be amazing. I think a lot of people are going to be hyping it up for this amazing thing, or there are going to be people absolutely dunking on it. I think overall it's going to be change your signature, goodbye as well. What? Wait, people still play this game very clearly. Extra stuff's already a massive power creep. I wouldn't say a massive power creep in like a traditional sense, but in terms of like utility, yeah. Yeah. There are ways in which you can use Exodus gloves to do some very, very interesting things. Add in like tardigrade. No, not tardigrade, but if you have a team member with tardigrade, you run Unbreakable, have something like Exodus gloves, like the overall mechanic, yeah, it becomes quite strange. You have Refactor, yeah. Refactor's still pretty strong. Is it even relevant to judge as you do, as the PTS is not with the DLC in Season 7? Will be played with it. The PTS is there to test for bugs. The PTS is there to test for everything and for the community to give feedback. I don't actually know. Can we open up Discord? Opening Discord, if it is still there. See, actually, quick tangent. I don't know if it is actually still there, but one of the things I see so frigging often is people being like, oh, the devs watch videos and then they will change X, Y, Z within the game because of X content creator. That is not at all how it works, okay? Particularly with the PTS. When they release the PTS, the first thing they do as well is they go on their Discord, the Division 2's official Discord, and they create this. This is a thread post for the PTS. Balancing and quality of life, the new gears and weapons, modifiers, objectives, and just overall general chat. This is where they get their feedback from. They don't care about my videos. They don't care about anyone else's videos. If you want your voice to be heard about things in the PTS, this is where you come. Okay? And you leave messages here. Alright. And considering the amount of backlash that I have gotten over just the one video I made, I'm pretty sure if I went through here, I'm not going to fucking find you. Any of you that are like trying to shit on me, have you left a comment in here? Any of you? Probably not, because there's only like 407 comments, and most of them are the same like 10 people on repeat. I leave my comments in here. I do a bit of testing, show what I want, I test what I want to test, I give my opinion on it, I then go back and I make it a video. So everything that I have put in my video and what I don't like and what I like is somewhere in my official response officially to the devs. So the devs nerfed the game because we're getting too strong and make us overpowered for a couple of months later. Fruitcake, anyone? What? I understand people are upset about the mule. I do. But at the same time, the game's been out for like God knows how long. And it has been a source of concern for ages. I'm kind of just happy they're doing something about it. I'm not happy with what it is they're doing. I don't agree with it. But I do think something needs to be done. I just don't know what. What do you mean determined is still bugged? Explain. I have to do a video. I'm going to have like so many people are asking about that. Still bummed about killing the mules. Dev is my number one game for years, but thankfully the devs made it easier for me to reduce my playtime, and with the reset of the materials, but I think stop paying support. Thanks again, thanks. Woohoo! Thanks. What an amazing Sunday video. More cannon fodder for the rubbish kid. I just think I don't actually understand the new gear set. I think I did say that, but yeah, I don't understand it. Can't wait to have a balance in the Division community for once. Oh, the community be balanced. I thought, sorry. We get some extremely positive, optimistic indicators on one side who find literally joy in the slightest of things, and then we get the extreme leviters like this, where everything is claimed to be shit and broken. That's pissed me off a couple of times in the last few years. I feel sorry for them. How could you even take feedback when everything literally falls one end of the spectrum and the other, and there's no in-betweens? There are in-betweens. The last season, what was it, Year 6, Season 3? There you are, there's an in-between. And that was something that I was very, very happy with. DJ Smith, oh my god, thank you so much. Thank you. Overpowered in game breaking, they'll nerf it. And you'll say, what's the point? No, because if it adds diversity to the overall pool, like build diversity, then fine. Like, technically speaking, from like a technical point within the game, Refactor is nothing special. It isn't. I'm sorry, it isn't. But for someone who likes the support builds, with my support builds being limited to FI, actually having an option now, I'm for it. But FI is still better. Not only does it heal, it also buffs my teammates, whereas Refactor is just heal. I would have to put other things in that I can utilise to buff teammates. Like, exactly, people moan about no. Content or updates. And they just bitch and moan about it. Wow, you repeat it, blah, 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 blah. For the algorithm! You're shaming them for trying to make the game better. You're level 15,000, dude. Invest in the actual game rather than complaining. Wait, so have I invested, I'm at 15,000 plus, have I invested into the game or not? Help them, stop saying negative. We have tried. I don't think you understand. We have tried. There have been, myself, Ronan, there was, I don't know if it's still about, the only time I actually have any interaction with Ronan anymore is on Steam. I haven't seen him play Division for ages, but he used to organise a Discord called the Black Book, right? This Black Book is filled with some of the most horrific game-breaking bugs within the Division 2. And I don't mean bugs as in, you know, a character will fall through the floor. I mean, they could crash entire servers. They could do, like, a billion XP a second level bugs. It's things they find, and they sit on them, they report them, and they send them off to the devs, and they basically managed these bugs and kept the community on lockdown from these bugs so that it didn't hit the wider space. I'm not sure if people have seen it, but there is a bug in the game. It's still there, of where you can have up to like 32 players in your game. You could be running around Legendary DUA with like 30 people in your game. Plus, it's all in this Discord. I was in it for like all of 20 minutes because he wanted to just show me or get my opinion on something. And then I was asked to leave politely. But myself, that Discord as well, Hutchler has offered, I believe IKEA has. We have asked to basically have, I don't know, access to like a permanent PTS server of where we will go through and find all these interactions and report back to you, and we will do it for free. We will help you. They said no. We have tried helping. We've tried. Now, most of the people that I just spoke about no longer play the game. They've lost respect for the devs. We've gone out of our way to try and help. They didn't want the help. What do you want me to do now? I still play the game. I think IKEA is still playing the game. Hutchler maybe comes on once a month for like a little bit of a speed run or an event or whatever, but that's about it. Everyone else that was in those groups that knew all of these interactions to help the devs and actively reported these things to the devs stopped playing because the devs told them to fuck off. So they did. Masculine makes me feel like a boss solo. Well, that's the problem. The same It's gonna be fun for like 10 minutes, and then it's just gonna be end. Calling that power creep, which is the reason I don't use determined or Regulus. Regulus is a power creep, but it's a power creep that relies on skill. I get your point. I wouldn't put it at the same level though. Using should feel riskier than it does. Interesting, since having come to gaming only since Division 1. I remember those incursions were tough and everyone running, yikes! To put distance between them and the hunters in the underground, my first impression of Div 2 was, oh, this is going to be hard. But then gradually it got easier, and yeah, you just lose hope. You just lose, because it's easy, it's no longer challenging. Leave my determined alone. No! Why so negative all the time? It gets boring. It's not. I'm not being. It's called criticism, annoyingly. And if you were handed out a few too many participation trophies when you're younger, you don't learn how to take criticism or have the capability to put forward a concise argument. Hybrid here is in the game, seriously though. The problem is, when it comes to healing, there's always going to be like what is the most effective way of doing it. Having hybrid healers, I wouldn't say is a bad thing, but yeah. The game is power creep since Woni. It's had to progress, and in order for games to progress, the most easiest way to do it is power creeping, but it's normally 1% at a time, 1% at a time, 1% at a time. With the introduction of how much gear is being given to us with expertise, and then a mask that just goes, oh, by the way, have like 20% more, it now becomes huge, like very apparent. Scaling and damage with the new modifier. I haven't tested the modifiers. With Streamline as a joke, close to the modifiers. Yeah, I can only do that. It's 10% more. It's 20% more with the mask. It's 10% more with just Streamline. Adding in the modifiers, like, yeah, it's ridiculous. Yeah. New exotic mask, we're not getting it towards the end of the season, so I don't have a problem with it. It's crazy. No, it's not. If it's coming, it's coming. If it's, yeah. But everyone min-maxes the game. Some people aren't sad to have multiple. Right. Oh, God. Right. Okay. Even while doing this video, right, I'm playing solo leveling. Literally, while making this video. While I'm making this video, I'm playing solo leveling. What are you on about? I'm playing Monster Hunter. I play Snowbreak, Aether Gazer, Skyrim. I very, very, very seldom actively play Division 2 anymore. And that min-maxing that you're probably referring to is just a Strikers build. Pistols haven't got any love since forever. It's because they're very, very strong. I mean, yeah. PTS indeed. Also, can't wait to hear your take on the new DLC when it comes out. Looking forward to your... I can't actually... Because I missed the live stream. Because I'm very busy at the moment. I'm on like some silly course. Most real and truthful Div 2 guy out there. Check out IKEA. You need to check out IKEA. He even calls me out. Like, Jesus Christ, go for it. And he does it well. He actually puts forward a very good argument. You can just not use the gear. The main reason, though... The main reason for my thoughts is the... trouble logging in more than 5 times, saying that I'm doing long. I've been doing 5,000 times, doing log right back in. I know you're not a fan of power creep and the Chinese version, but to do something to make guys want to play, balance the game. Balance the game. Actual give new, decent, well thought out content that doesn't break the overall standing in the game, especially when it comes to things like Determined, Turmoil. Now with the new mask, because that's going to be absolutely ridiculous. Yeah. Gotta say, sorry, so everyone wants something new but doesn't want anything to change. I want it to be balanced. I want new things, and I do want changes, but I want it balanced. I don't want to open up the game one day and see that there is a new mask that just goes, oh, by the way, be 25% more powerful for no apparent reason whatsoever, with no new content that I'm able to flex that 25% more power on, that is also going to completely and utterly nuke the diversity, because now every build is going to be about that one mask, how you set up that mask, which will most likely just be strikers with a high-end AR, utilizing the top talents in the game, but there's nothing new. If there's nothing new that I can utilize that on, we would definitely need at this point, if what we have in the game is, or what we had in the PTS is put into the game, we would absolutely need something along the lines of Legendary Open World. Or at least Legendary, or make all of the missions Legendary. I like how powerful we become. Everything is getting nerfed? No. It all depends on the spectrum. As it stands right now, because they've recently done a huge balance, as it stands right now, to make what was in the PTS balanced, they would have to nerf it. They would. But if you had the vast majority of things pushing the power creep, you would need to buff the things at the bottom. There are still things in the game that do need to be buffed. True Patriot, Tip of the Spear, some of the weapon talents, things like Optimus, they still need to be bugged. But yeah, trace this for final measured. That's the new, yeah. I don't quite remember. Waiting for these changes to happen in the live game. I don't think they will, even in the Discord. Again, I probably actually have more comments on this video from different people as well than the Discord actually got. In terms of feedback, I think there was maybe 20 people just having a revolving conversation about things. I think in total it ended up being something like 500 comments as feedback for the PTS. So again, if you're wanting to see an effective change with content within the game, you need to get involved with the Discord. You need to. Stop blaming it on people like me that make a video on it, because the devs don't give a fuck. The only ones that care are you. You need to get on the Discord and get your voice heard on the Discord. I'll actually leave a link in the description for the Division 2 official Discord where you can go on there. I believe that the thing for the PTS, the threads for the PTS are still up there. I'm sure you've all seen videos and blah and streams of people playing it. Go on there, say what you like, say what you don't like. That is where the devs listen. They're not listening here. They don't care about here. Devs are 100% taking an Activision approach and pandering to the lowest common denominator of players that can barely clear hard missions with 6-piece blue and yellow. Yeah. Why do I keep dying? Because you're shit. What's the thoughts on them killing mule characters? Sadly, Division 1 related season, but back in the days. Hanker Nimble Holster was also there. It was PvP. Yeah, it got nerfed a lot. Smart cover of 45% detox. Yeah, exactly. It's ridiculous. Who thought that's a good number? Feel for me? Why? I'm happy. I'm mostly always actually pretty happy. I'm going to assume that you're American and you don't actually understand that when us weird Brits like to express ourselves, we go, it's a piece of shit. And then you're like, oh, you can't say that. Looks PvP orientated, unless you use a bunch of skills in Brooklyn. Packard's talent scales off the base magazine as well, sadly. Yeah, but you still end up 140 round mag. If a guy like you sleeps in this game, you'd be surprised how much I don't sleep in this game. People seem to think I play this game religiously. I don't. I really don't. Maybe get 4 hours in a week, if that. And that's a stretch. Most of the time I'm playing some anime titty gacha game just because there's no stress involved. So yeah, and again, it's just strikers. Sorry. They're putting all the OP gear and the talents for player retention. I mean, they could do, but still a really bad way of doing it. But I'm pretty sure Yannick said the new brand set is meant to be negative 100% threat. That would be really bad. But yeah, there we have it. Again, if you've made it this far, there will be a link in the description for the Division 2's Discord. If you want your thoughts and feelings heard on the PTS, that is where you need to do it. Not on videos. Not on videos. I will make videos like this to inform you and give you my opinion. If you think my opinion is shit, go for it. But do not blame me or other content creators for shit getting nerfed, because it happens in the Discord and on the Trello. They don't give a fuck about videos. I've had the devs literally confirm this to me before when I put a video out for the Centurion's holster saying how it was bugged, etc, etc, etc. DJ Tickle got a hold of it. He took it to the devs, and the devs basically responded saying someone will need to put a ticket in on the Trello or give us evidence through the Discord. We're not going to be doing it through videos on YouTube. They won't touch them because it is so much more fucking work. So have fun. Good luck. Don't die. It's bad for the health.